Wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First down, Lucas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. Watch the screen. And Alpha.
They'll run on 1st down. James. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 18-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing deep for Stewart. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, Sam on.
They're going to look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check 31, check 31.
Get it.
He'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down.
Yep. Hey, exit.
He'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their body.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, Haywood.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Check nine. Kill.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
We got this.
7, Falcons nothing.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Go.
44 to Mike. 44.
Back to throw here. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. On 2nd down now, it's James, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
30 base.
Mike 58 right there.
Hey, lock it.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Smooth.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Kill.
Rock it. Get it.
They'll look to throw here. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Falcons send out their punter. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal is
touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. 96 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 13. Caught by Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing deep for Stewart. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Westbrook on the return. The Jaguars take over 1st and 10.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Let's get off the field. Check one.
They'll try the left side. It's Lucas. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Samson Abukum, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Jackson. Screen play, Johnson. Space to run past the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Lambeau on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 34-yard line.
Ready? 18 Gator. Protein spill.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they? Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
It's now 3rd down and long.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. Instead of throwing it down, try to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. On the return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
34-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
2nd and 7 at the 37-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They'll keep it on the ground. Miles, he's got the 1st down and more past midfield. 30, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half is getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it is 28-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Ready.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. We always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Go! 8, read.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McGrath. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Under 10. 10 now.
Looking to throw. McGrath looking deep for Julio. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McGrath. That's taken in by Stewart. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
59. I'm trying to collect.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So it wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up second down at the 33-yard line.
18 Gator.
59. Watch the run.
They'll keep it on the ground. Miles, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And it's third down.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
He's not going to get me.
Fair. Look at me. Go.
Now a give, right side. Miles. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Jaguars.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here I come.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Ready. 60 outlaw.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Hey, alert 3. Quick dash.
Go.
On first down, Miles. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
On second down, Miles. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And it's third down.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Josh Lambo, the kickoff for Jacksonville.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
132 fighter.
From the gun, McGrath looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On second down now, it's James. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Back to throw. McGrath. Jones has it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Operating from the gun. McGrath escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Come on, boy. You got to be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Throwing on first down. Porter. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll keep it on the ground. Miles. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And it's 3rd down.
Ready?
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Ready, ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. .35 yards that time on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. A fourth quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh.
Let's go.
The Atlanta
60
offense
Pittsburgh.
out there for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling again.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Let's go, baby.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Jaguars, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.